Here with Diana Mark, Real Estate News and Views, and we're going to talk about the condo market a bit here and look at the sales, see what's going on. And the Toronto market is tanking really horribly.
They got 30,000 new units coming out this year on top of already the supply that's already listed. There's a ton of inventory down there. It's not getting better. And we know most of those were built for investors, right?
Yeah,
500 square feet. Your son lives in one. There's no goddamn room.
yeah.
How do you, would you live in one? No, there's no room. You need a bit more space. So it's going to get interesting down there in the next few years.
Well, and even my son is living in one right now, and he can actually get a bigger unit with
Yes.
more storage and everything for less money than
Mhm.
what he's paying now.
Mhm. Yep. So our market's not like that, but yes, we have some projects that have been completed and ongoing more over in Spice Way, that area. That's
But
been
you and I were looking for rentals down by the waterfront in condos, and like there isn't any.
no, there's not a lot of listings at Nautica. There's not a lot of listings in my building. Um, on Bayshore, there's a few, but an older building, but we don't, we're not experiencing what they're experiencing. We had the debut that's the newest project that is completion, and that's going to complete. They're going to get transferred in August to owners. So right now it's interim occupancy. So that
How many
transition
how
be
how many floors are in that building?
30, I think, maybe 33. I think I'm not 110% sure. So don't quote me on that, but let's just say lots. And
Lots. You
what's that?
see that thing from everywhere in Barrie, eh?
Yeah, it's the tallest building. So
And I think it was mostly investors that bought it because the size of the units and everything, most of them, they're so small.
a lot are. I've been in a two bedroom and they weren't that bad. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a transition building where people go and rent, incoming new people all the time, probably a younger demographic. So, you know what? We're going to go through the numbers, go in the inventory levels in each price range, and cover off some sales. So, like this video, click the like button, subscribe for more information, and anybody who wants some information on home evaluations and buyer updates, click the link in the beginning of our descriptions. So, take it away. Where are we? Woo! Look at that. Eh.
Mark, it's a huge increase.
27% in sales over,
Last year,
yeah,
last year was 30, this year is 41.
yeah. I showed in Nautica yesterday. There's not a lot of listings in some of these really good buildings.
No, that's what I'm telling you. Yeah, like
No,
me and you were going through them, and there's like in the really good buildings, there's like nothing there.
no. And let's keep on that point for a sec, because a viewer reached out to me and asked if we could do a video on, which we just don't want to do it on one building, but asked if that 33 and 37 Ellen is overpriced. There's just not a lot of inventory in that building to say that at this time. Yes, there's one unit that I showed, Grand Cayman, that's 1,862 square feet at 1.5 and change. It's grossly overpriced. It's original everything. It showed terrible. So
Yeah.
that unit overpriced, yes. But then there's a one bedroom for 599. Not a bad square footage, not a bad layout. And there's a couple other ones, but that I really don't think right now that building is overpriced due to a lack of supply in that building.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. And for sales last month, so in April we were down 22%. This is condo sales in the city of Barrie, people.
Mhm. Mhm.
April we were down 21%. May we were down 33%. And then in June, we're up 27%.
Still negative on the year, I think, right? Or up 1.5.
We're up 1.5.
It's better than the free,
Freehold.
right? So
The
yeah,
only the only big thing that you see, and I know you don't like average price, but the thing is it shows we're down to 475 and last year we were at 601. I mean, it's just that there's a lot more inventory at that cheaper range now with that South End, Spiceway, and all them, right?
yeah, there's pockets of supply, and once we see a motivated seller that comes on the market, say 30 or 40 grand below where the others are listed, it's going to sell. And we're starting to see more of those sales happening throughout the market. We're seeing motivated sellers. We are.
We're starting
And
to
never
see that.
before, right? We would always come on and bash the sellers. Now, I'm not bashing them so much because some are really, really being aggressive
They
with their
are.
price points because of the competition, right? So I got a call from an agent that's listed 26 Monique that I showed last week or 2 weeks ago. Want to let you know we're taking down to 795. Great value. Great value at 795 for the way that property shows.
Hmm.
Don't say that too many times about a property showing exceptional. So attractive, and you can really see who's motivated and who's not motivated due to price decreases.
Yes, and even some coming out listing low right off the bat. Like they're not messing around.
They're not messing around. They're not messing around. So where's the inventory levels year to date? So
So last year our inventory was 189 and we're at 260, so we're 27% up.
so again, competitive condo market still with that
Well,
increase.
the thing is though, since March mark, we were 48% up.
Yeah,
So
long way
like we're then we went to 29, 28, 27. Like we're still up
by a lot,
by a lot,
right?
but it looks like it's on a good trend.
Will it continue? We didn't really have a spring market. Look at May, up 28%. That's the hottest, usually the hottest month of the year.
And the
And
sales were down 33%. They were the worst for the year, the whole year.
we didn't have a spring market. Will we go into this fall market having a fall market? I don't think so. I think it's just going to do what it's been keep on doing. It's
Yep.
going to it's going to set apart the real sellers from the non-sellers.
But year
That's
to date, we're actually up 1.5.
yeah. In
It's not
transaction.
terrible for the 6 month.
No, no. Yeah, and we're not used to seeing increases. Let's face it.
No.
So, it's yeah, and then so what did the sales look like for May? Sorry, not for May, but for July last year.
Um, I would have to go on
Oh, no,
trend.
no,
Hold on,
no,
let
no,
me,
just go right here.
huh?
So,
Oh, July for last year, the sales were 30. They were the same as June.
all right. So when we look at this to find the next increase in transactions, it's October. So if someone wants to position themselves to take advantage of a busier market, we should see it. But I would caution that when we didn't see it over in May. Will we hit the 34 sales in October of 2024? I don't know.
You
That's
know,
the
this is a problem I find this market this year. Like it's all wacky. Like sales were up
yeah,
39% in January,
it's changing.
which and January is usually dead.
Mhm.
Always.
Yeah.
So like I mean the time of year these days you can't even tell anymore. Like it's not predictable.
Oh, it's you. We can look at it and go, well, that's going to be a busier month, but we may not get there. And
No.
that's it. I mean, let's face it, very, very few of the listed properties are selling. And as we progress to the video, we're going to give those viewers a really chance to see in the inventory levels of what's selling, what's not selling, inventory levels. And you're going to be surprised.
Yeah. So 3 to 400, 8 sales this year, one last year.
Right, up 12%. And yeah, and you know what? And there was some inventory this year too in that range. We've been
Well,
watching,
our actives are 28%.
yeah, 28 actives in that
Or
range.
sorry, 28 actives, which in years past, like you didn't have any between 3 and 4.
No, so even in that lower, no, we didn't. And if they did, they were, picked up pretty quick. We know why the sales aren't gaining traction. We know that. We talk about it all the time. I'm not going to talk about it again, but everyone knows why things aren't moving. Until we see something better economically in the picture, in the forecast, we should see some things picking up. But
Well,
then,
look at between 4 and 5. We have 101 actives, 21 sales this year, only 16 last year.
so when we look at that, it's a lot of inventory. So 20% of the inventory is selling in that range. 28% is selling at 3 to 4. So the other remainder is not selling. And
No,
there's different reasons why it's not selling. I really don't want to get too into them, but 99% of them are price
yeah,
or the property isn't presented in the right way. The layout is wrong. Bedrooms are too small, whatever the reason may be. Don't like the condo fees. Condo fees play a real big role in some of these low price points in older
that's right.
buildings. So the affordability going great. I can afford that in the market side, but I can't afford the common element fee.
Yes.
So
So five to
it's hard.
six hundred, only 76 listings. So the 4 to 5 is our biggest range by far,
Yeah.
which is weird,
Correct.
right?
Um, for well, kind of, but we've been seeing again when we look at some of those, you know, buildings in the last year or two, there's a lot in that range too. More in the Mapleview Southeast area. Spice Way, there's a couple other buildings over there, lower price points. You're seeing two bedrooms go for 549 today with decent layouts.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, that was a 650 any day of the week.
Yeah.
So prices have come down across the board, and it's going to set up. And then we have to still think that there is still some people that have to sell or forced to sell.
Yes.
You can't qualify.
Well, and the other thing is there's a bunch of people who bought in the first phase in the 400s. So they're still okay
They're still okay. They're
at,
still
at
okay.
549,
Cor- correct. Right.
So
Correct.
the 5 to 6 range, 76 actives, 8 sold, 4 last year. So we're up 50%.
Yeah, and 42% of the inventory is selling. That doesn't seem right.
No,
Hang on,
that's not right.
that's not right. Huh? No, use a calculator. How about that? Sorry, 10% of the inventory is selling.
Yeah. So 90% is not.
Right. And that had a and there's a ton of inventory in that 5 to 6 range. Right. We see it all. There's lots of buildings with those price points. And some of those buildings have high fees, six,
I
seven
know.
hundred bucks, and you got nothing there.
I
Wow.
know.
Like it's absolutely berserk.
I know. Now 6 to 7, 42 actives.
Yep.
So the numbers start going lower.
Yep.
7 sold this year, 7 last year.
Yeah. 16% selling. And as we get to those 6 to 7 ranges, you know, you get the odd, you know, one bedroom in Den and Nautica, if you could find one. Only one right now is 599. Some in Waterview, but you're paying a premium for those buildings too.
Yes.
Paying a
And there's
premium.
actually in those ones, there's not actually that many for
No,
sale anyway.
there's not. And even last year before that, we'd see an abundance of listings. We'd comment all the time. We'd see two bedrooms trying to get a 950. Well, in 2021, 22, some of them got that. Now, eight, right?
Yeah.
So that's changed. And so has that seller just given up and taken off the market? Yeah,
Well,
I think
some of them might be just
so.
renting them out, right?
Renting them out, we try for a long time, forget it. But there's just as in these higher ranges, there's
Well,
limited in.
look, yeah, look, between 7 and 8, there's only 8 actives
Yeah,
in the whole city.
yeah.
Between 8 and 9, 2.
Hmm.
9 to 1 million, there's only 3.
Hmm.
And then a million plus, there's 13.
And we're not seeing a lot of those, in my building here, we're not seeing a lot of the higher price condos sell. We're
Well,
not.
no, so there's been no sales between 9 and a million plus, no sales at all.
No,
7 to 8, there was no sales.
no,
Eight to
no.
nine, there was one.
Hmm. And we're,
So, well, the market's gotten hotter, Mark. Like it's increased, but only for the lower priced stuff.
and it's still heavily inventoried. And these
Yeah.
numbers, as soon as Spiceway, it was not Spiceway, sorry, the debut get closed in August, we're going to see some listings in that building because you can't, there's no assignments. Yes, you can assign it, but you can't market it. So you can't put it on a real estate board.
You can't list it.
Can't list it. So that will increase the inventory level. So the competition's in this 5 to 6 range for sure, even some at 4 to 5, maybe the small bedrooms. I'm sure they have the odd studio. We'll start to see more inventory come up there. And that part of Dunlop is getting worse because I
I know.
find the east part of Dunlop is getting better. Don't ask me why. I'm happy with the progress that I'm seeing. I'm seeing beautiful things in Meridian Square. It looked so much better. They've done a great job, the city, with putting a lot of planters. They've resodded a bunch of areas. I'm not seeing a lot of drug addiction down there like I did last year. I'm
No,
not
well, what I heard, Mark, was that the mayor or the town council or whatever have two or three police now that are dedicated to walking down there all the time.
uh,
And they are actually charging, like before, people would do open drug use and they wouldn't do anything.
nothing at all.
They do it
Nothing.
right in front of you, right?
It's changed now.
Yeah, they're charging them now, or yeah,
Yeah. So
it
hats
is
off to the
changing.
city. It is. And you're going to start seeing more people frequent downtown more and more. I live downtown, so I'm always downtown. But you'll start seeing more people, going out to the restaurants downtown and not seeing open drug use and stuff like that. So I think it's a win for the city. Um, I think
Well,
every
and when they built Debut, I wondered who would invest in this because of where it was.
yeah, it's rough down there. It's getting worse. A lot of the store vacancies. Methadone clinic right beside that place almost. The
Liquor
famous,
stores up the road.
yeah, like it's just, that's the next chapter I think what the city has to focus on long term is how do we revitalize that part of Dunlop and make
Yeah.
some decisions. So, but you know what, I still think the sellers today don't get too, you know, cocky with these numbers because we've seen an increase. The market's still very, very soft with a lot of inventory. Are we, we know that we're seeing it on the freehold. We're probably seeing it on the condos where people are adjusting price as when days on market are getting showings, aren't getting this, no offers. So we may start to see some transactions surpass last year, both in the freehold, maybe we're seeing in the condos now, right? Because we are seeing motivated sellers that want to sell.
Well, Mark, the other thing too is people have to keep in mind last year was horrifying. It was awful.
It was awful, awful year,
Awful year. It was the numbers were like the lowest in 25 years. Like it was horrible.
horrible.
So, if we're not higher than last year, then we're in real trouble.
Well, I think we're in real trouble now in a sense with the amount of inventory.
We are.
Now we're starting to see prices come down. We're starting to see new norms established in neighborhoods, right?
Yes.
Another one in Letitia Heights, sold for 550, mid-unit townhome. Showed okay. That's the new norm. We've been seeing a lot of those 550s coming out of that area.
Yep.
And within the last 4 weeks. So, pricing it today, no need to go back 30 days, go back 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Really evaluate the competition out there.
That's what I've been doing too. And I actually had somebody send me a listing today and they said, "Oh, look at, there's a newly renovated house. They listed at 865 or 879 or I can't remember, but it was high eights because
Yeah.
one sold for 865 like I don't know a couple months ago." And I'm like, "Well, that I don't really care about that."
You can't say that's a couple months ago, right? That's, we've been downtrending for the last couple months in a sense with the amount of inventory coming up. And I just really feel that some sellers are taking notice of going, hey, we've have to let go of that peak of the market, or we have to let go of what we think it's worth.
Hmm.
No one cares what you think it's worth at the end of the day. oh, I put in great flooring, and oh, I've updated the kitchen to this. And some of it's okay, and some of it may not be okay, but they did it for themselves. So there's no guarantee that you're getting all that back or that buyer coming in and going, okay, I can really see the upgrades standing out. Sometimes that doesn't happen. And I don't think
Well,
buyers are willing to pay a big premium for it today.
and you know what I find with upgrades, like a lot of people when I've flipped houses in the past, and I know when you have too, years ago, I mean, we pick neutral finishes that are going to appeal to the most people,
Hmm.
right? You don't go and do really bold
No,
things
no.
because you want to appeal to the mass,
Mhm.
right? I
100%.
find some people do upgrades and like you said, they do it for themselves
Right.
and they might love it. I might love it,
Yeah.
but the average buyer doesn't.
100%. And they may not be willing to pay for it.
Yeah, because now they feel like I got to go in and change this.
Yep.
I got to redo all this.
Yep. Hmm. So,
Like so I find that like with kitchens and backsplashes and like you can do something that is I don't know, you remember the when those little glass slats were like the big thing?
for what, backsplashes?
Yeah. All the different colors, they would be like light brown, dark brown, white, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And they were those little skinny and they were nobody likes them now. They hate that.
No. Yeah. I know.
I
It's,
took mine out at when I lived on Rufford, and let me tell you, that was something.
oh, yeah.
We had to
Yeah.
cut. We ended up cutting the drywall off.
It's
Just
fine.
I told Kyle just cut the drywall right off, and we'll start fresh.
That's it.
Trying to take that off, glass shreds,
Yeah.
stuff flying everywhere. There was
Oh,
glass all over. I said, you
yeah.
know what? Just cut it all off. It was easier.
Yeah, I agree. No, no mess. Just get it done. So what?
But some of the things that you do that are a big job to change.
Hmm.
Like you put in, I had the one guy had pink ceramic tile
Hmm.
and he loved it. No
Not
one's
too
gonna
many people
like
like,
that.
no one's gonna like that. You like it, that's great. But the new buyer coming in is gonna hate it. And they're gonna beat you up on it, right? It's gonna
Because
be
it's a big job to change that, Mark, though.
a big job and it's expense, right? It's, people are watching their money. They're watching their spending today. The competition's fierce. Look at all these contractors that are doing nothing right now. They're like real estate agents. Let's be honest.
Yes,
We have a lot of free time on our hands right now.
mortgage agents, real estate agents,
It's tough.
anybody involved in the housing market.
It's our slow. It's slow. So, keep looking at the numbers, keep watching the inventory, um, and make good decisions. And yeah, are we starting to see that there is, you know, some opportunities out there? I think so. There's some decent prices
I
coming out of
agree.
the market,
I see some too.
right? We're seeing it. So,
Hmm.
you know, and people, and it's so hard to time a bottom. It really is. If you're paying, everyone needs shelter, so everyone needs a place to live. So if you're going to sit there and rent for an extra, 6 months or 8 months, and then think it's going to crash, then probably not. Are we near the bottom? Well, I don't want to say we are or say we're not, but prices are getting attractive, right? If we start seeing some sales beat last year, 3 months in a row, trends reversed.
Yeah, I know. This
Not
is the
saying
thing.
prices have gone up, but we're seeing more buyers have come into the table. And
That's
maybe
right.
with the condo market is the new trend, maybe ain't a trend yet,
Okay,
but
Mark, look at that power of sale that I was telling you about last week
yeah,
that got 25 offers.
stupid. Just I wouldn't give them 499 for it.
Well, neither would I. But my point is, my client who was thinking of putting an offer said, I thought there was no buyers out there. I thought there was no demand. Well, there was demand for the right price, wasn't there?
100%. There always is, right?
Yeah.
For the right price, we will start to see some people come back to this market. They go, you know what? I'm happy with that price. I found a nice property that, you know, I'm happy with, great neighborhood. that I probably got 150 grand cheaper than when it was 2 years ago.
That's
Three.
right.
Yeah, great. Yeah, the fixed rates are still going bananas and up and, tied to the bond yields, but that's just the climate that we're in right now. That's not going to be around forever.
No.
So, okay, I think that's a wrap. I think we covered off some good information. Just watch the market. Don't get cocky.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya.